What up, y'all? It's PBJ back at it again with another video. Today I got, as you remember, I arm wrestle a 15-year-old bodybuilder, and this time I'm going to try to show him some technique and see if I can help improve his game. So the next time we see any more 15-year-old bodybuilders, because they're literally everywhere around here apparently, he can beat all of his friends. Alright, so on a real table, you're standing up, and foot position and all this different stuff matters, but in sit-down arm wrestling, you put your elbow on the table, and when you grip, the thing that is basically, it's like super complicated. Like when people look at arm wrestling, they never think like, oh, there's all this stuff you got. They just think that, right? In actual arm wrestling, actual arm wrestlers refer to it as pulling. And so basically when you grip, you want to get your knuckles as high as they can go. Because if your wrist, right, so let's say I got you like this, right? So now, when you try to cup in, right, like, do you kind of feel that? Like if I'm all the way up here, does that feel uncomfortable? So what you want to do is you want to be able to cap your thumb, so like that. And cap your thumb and make sure your knuckles are as high as they can be. And then with your elbow, you want it as close to you as it can possibly be. Everybody in the comments was like, your elbow was close to you. I literally gave them the advantage, guys. But anyway, because I basically let my wrist bend back at the beginning, and then I went, because obviously it's not fair. Yeah. But you want your elbow to be as close as possible. And from this position, you have a good one right now. You get your other hand and you put it like here, because you're trying to imagine you're trying to go through this way. So through that way. And basically, with your elbow, imagine you're doing that one machine at the gym. It goes like this, like a tug of war, basically. And so just pull back with your elbow and flex the wrist. So try that out. So you're kind of going like this, right? You want to go like this. And probably like you probably want to hover slightly because the table is kind of in. But yes. So you want to pull back and then cup as well. And then make sure your elbow moves as well. Yes, that's perfect. So now I'm gonna add like a little bit of resistance and see like the difference. That's literally like 5 times as strong. Like that felt like similar to Brian just now. Like I'm not playing.
Actually?
Because that's what he was doing. He already knows the technique. When Brian went, I could feel, this is what I felt when I first picked up Brian. This is what it felt like.
Oh, so he was already pulling. Okay.
And so basically he, in arm wrestling, we call this a cup. It's the wrist flexion. They call it a cup because it's like a cup because you, I don't know, it just looks like one, you know what I mean? It contains the hand. So you want wrist flexion, so that's what that is. So you flex your wrist, and then you're imagining you're pulling through my fingers. So you want to put force as you're pulling your elbow back like that into my fingers. So try it. Yes. That's perfect. So now, combine all of that and make sure you drag your elbow back with the wrist flexion. Yes. It's perfect. So now, I'm going to show you it from my perspective now, alright? So I'm going to do the same thing to you. There are 2 different ways to show you the difference, alright? So this is what I usually do to people, so you can put a little bit of resistance. Usually I just go like that, right? And then there's this. See the overwhelming difference of that? So pretty much, in arm wrestling, like, there's all these little things that nobody knows about. And there's another one where if somebody doesn't know, right? I can get like this on. And that's what's awesome. And I have a unfair grip. Usually in a tournament, you have to pull where I'm at, show the thumb knuckle. They try to get like that, as good as they can, so they can get it nice and high and have a good, like, firm grip. And when you're in arm wrestling, you don't want to think about like squeezing. You want to think about flexing the wrist. Because if you're just squeezing, my hand is good. If I'm flexing my wrist, it's a lot harder. So try to roll like this stuff, and I'm just gonna roll. So I go like that without any problem. So now I'm making the problem. Because now I'm flexing my wrist. And most people who are not flexing their wrists, you can easily roll back. So here, don't flex your wrist, and go. And now flex your wrist. You see how you can clean that now?
Yeah.
So basically that's the difference between how you were arm wrestling before and how it actually is. Right? So now, we'll have this ready to go, and I'll see how much stronger you actually are. Like try to give me as much as you can. He just worked out, you know, but try to give me as much as you can, like, you know, with the technique. Yes. So this should be a lot different. I'll actually probably have to try because he's pretty strong. And he's actually knowing technique. Most people don't know any, so it's like I just instantly win most of the time. So you give us a 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Now I actually have to put a lot of pressure into my fingers, as you can see. You probably see a neck vein popping out of my arm right now. And just make sure that your other shoulder is like this, because if you go like this, that's how you break down. So your other shoulder, make sure it goes forward. There you go, much better. Perfect. Ooh, good defense. That's how you do it. So that's the other thing, right? So you have the wrist flexion, you have this. Now you want to climb up during the match. So what that means is try to get more and more over that knuckle, and it gives me less and less leverage until you finally take my hand. That's something I'm kind of known for. Most people that know me in arm wrestling, my cup is extremely strong, and like my arm strength isn't as strong as my wrist. Because if you can get past my wrist, I usually lose every time.
Yeah.
But 99% of people cannot get past my wrist, and that's how I got to number 5. I pretty much, there's another thing, which this is more on a table. So you would stand up and it would be ready to go, and I'd come in like this. So if I can come forward, it gives me more leverage to access that, and from there, I would go like that. That's what I was trying to get you on an actual arm wrestling table, because on a table, they have square pads.
Yeah,
and you
I've
can
seen
move your elbow. Oh, you have?
Yeah.
You can move your elbow around freely, like literally freely, wherever you want. And they have like pin things, and if your knuckles or your wrist go under it, you lose. Excuse me. And pretty much, that's like, you feel like literally completely different. If you were to verse Brian now, it would actually be a struggle for him. You see what I'm saying? And honestly, I'd have to like go against him again, but I think it would actually be a good match now. Because this is what he was doing, right? Obviously he doesn't know technique as good as I do, but it was ready going, he was going like this. He knew to pull back and he knew to flex his wrist. Because right at the beginning he started like this. When we started, I kind of had you like in that, to give you that position. I was kind of like this, and it was ready to go, and you were just trying to go like that, and I had this pressure. So another thing is, if your arm is extended out like that, you're only using your bicep. But if you have everything close, you're using this, your shoulder, your pec, everything to be able to pull it closer. Because if I'm like this, it's a bicep stroke. If I'm like this, it's a lat, shoulder, and everything else. See? From here, bicep, from here. I know it's a lot to take in at once, so when it comes to arm wrestling though, just the main thing though, when you grip somebody, high. As high as you can go. Even like they say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So just as high as you can go, and then boom, boom. That's all you gotta remember. With that, you can pretty much beat anybody that is your age and that, you know, maybe except for mine, but like the comment said, like Diane said, we will make it happen. Do not worry. And yeah, pretty much. If you have any questions, go in the comments.
Oh, that's cool.
Really? It's hard to gauge because I'm so strong that like I was telling you the other day, like a world-class bench presser that can press 500 pounds, he can still feel 200, but it's not the same as somebody that's PRs at 200. And so that's kind of how I feel with you guys. Like I feel like I'm like really like somewhat like weight, but you still feel strong, you know? So if I wasn't as strong, you would win, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like the pull back thing, that's the vibe. We had everything close to him, and I was out like this. That's pretty much how, that's pretty loud. That's pretty much how he got to winning against everybody. I don't know if you've noticed that, if you think back now. Have you noticed that there's a snake in your head now?
When he's going against me, I mean, it was right here, and as soon as he started, he was back, staring dead in my eyes. It was scary.
If you're good at hammer curls, there's some. This is a bit more advanced. They call this back pressure. It's because you're able to use your forearm to just pull right back. So when you're standing up, the back pressure allows you to stay static with your arm. Static meaning that it doesn't move. You know what I'm saying? And you can just thoughts, Trevor? How do you feel? Do you think you can beat all your friends now that you couldn't beat before? Maybe besides Brian?
Probably.
Does anybody in the group beat you currently besides Brian? No? So you're like number 2 then.
Yeah.
We definitely got to make that match happen now. Is your ankle all right? Ankle? Okay. But pretty much like, yeah. I mean, do you have any questions? Like anything seem a bit? Or did I explain it?
I think you explained it well. Yeah.
That's nice. I already know I'm a good coach. But yeah, any thoughts to anybody that is interested in learning about arm wrestling technique? Because I know all of you were kind of iffy, so if you could help me convince them, that helps me too.
It's definitely cool. If you find it interesting and good at it, go for it. Easily. It's a lot of fun already. And I don't even do it professionally.
See, there you go. That's my very first testimony, all right? But yeah, beyond that, once you like get on the table, because I gotta get you guys on the table. You seem like you're actually down. Like one of these days, I don't know if you'd be down to actually like come over, you know, in my apartment, and we can like literally get on an actual table. I mean, I'm even down as soon as today after this. If you're down, you know, is it because you don't have a rod or just not like not today? Well, beyond that, thank you for joining me. Stay jacked. We'll see you in the next one.